President Green, we are now ready for the start of the 197th commencement exercises of Colby College.
Good morning. This is obviously a place of good fortune. For all of those who watched the weather reports over the last week and saw that we were going to have a half-inch of rain today, the sun is shining on the class of 2018. Congratulations to you. I want to say welcome to all the families, friends, alumni who are here with us today. I also want to recognize our absolutely brilliant, dedicated faculty and staff whose contributions are so evident in all of the graduates today. To our trustees and overseers who are with us on the stage, I want to welcome them and also thank them for their incredible leadership of this important institution. Many of the parents here will recall the trip to campus in August 2014 for move-in day. Do you remember that? It was an emotional day for many. Some of you, it was not so emotional. You were ready to just get on going. But for many, it was a time, of real emotion. And I remember that myself, in thinking about this journey that we were beginning together. And it's really hard to imagine that 4 years have already gone by. It seems that time just accelerates. My talk on that day to the families ended with these words. I said, we have a great journey in front of us, and I, for one, cannot wait to get started. Let's let these next 4 years be filled with fun and friendships, personal growth, and a growing appreciation for the power of community, intellectual transformation, and maturation. The world is truly open to Colby students and graduates, and I look forward to beginning this journey with the class of 2018. As I said yesterday, this class really feels like a class, my class as well, because I came in with you at the exact same time. But I couldn't have known then what a special class this would turn out to be. They've been remarkable in their achievements, their personal transformation, and their willingness to contribute to the greater good of this community. The world is indeed open to these graduates, and do we ever need them? They fill me with optimism. This is a group that combines a joyous spirit with a capacity and a drive to take on the toughest issues. The world needs these young people to go out and do their work. We know the journey to and through Colby would not have been possible for the class of 2018 without the love and support of many. Everybody needs a little love and support. I want to say a special thank you to everybody who's made a difference in their lives, but what I really want, yesterday we had a chance to thank the faculty and staff, is I'd like the class of 2018 to take a moment to acknowledge your families, your teachers, your guidance counselors, your friends, everybody who supported you and made this journey possible. In addition to the class of 2018, we recognize 3 individuals today through the granting of honorary degrees. And our commencement speaker, Senator Susan Collins, received an honorary degree in 2014 from Colby. It was among the very first such honors I was privileged to award. I want to say a special thank you to her for joining us again, this time to address the senior class. Our honorands, through their work in public policy, the arts, journalism, and community investment, draw our eyes toward deep-seated inequities and the lived experience of those whose voices are suppressed and needs and rights neglected. There is great value in that work alone, but they take the next critical step of changing the life chances of these individuals. Their work is creative, dogged, and inspiring, and in those ways it is emblematic of Colby's highest values and aspirations. Congratulations, class of 2018. Your presence will always be felt here on Mayflower Hill, a place that will remain an intellectual home for you, and I hope a touchstone as your life unfolds in the most interesting ways. And now it is my pleasure to call to the stage your senior class co-presidents, Jacob Adner and Kat Restrepo, to introduce our student speaker.
And Kat. Woo! Yeah. Congratulations, class of 2018. Let's go! Yeah! Before introducing this year's class speaker, we want to thank all of the families and friends in the audience who have made this moment possible. Thank you for all the guidance, love, and support you have given us throughout our 4 years on Mayflower Hill. We also want to thank the faculty and staff present here today. Your dedication to us, both inside and outside of the classroom, has greatly enriched our Colby experience and taught us what it means to be part of the Colby community.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce this year's senior class speaker, Avon. Hailing from St. Louis, Missouri, Marnay's presence here on the Hill is far and wide. As president of SoBlue, or Students Organized for Black and Latinx Unity, and as a first-generation college transition program mentor, Marnay's leadership has impacted the lives of her classmates and those in the community profoundly. She has invested so much of her time and effort here on campus and in the local community as a CCAC mentor, Phi Beta Kappa member, writing tutor, African American Studies program coordinator, and multicultural assistant in the Pew Center. Marnay, it is an honor to be your classmate and to have shared time together here on the Hill. So without further ado, please welcome Marnay Avon to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. How are y'all feeling, class of 2018? I'm excited. Okay, so before we close this chapter in our lives and start the next one, it is only right to thank all the people that have been there with us along the way, because we did not make it to the finish line by ourselves. To our professors, such as Professor Jilks of African American Studies and Sociology, Professor Weisbrau of History, and Professor C of Government, you have done your part. 5 years from now, we may not remember the exact details from your courses, but we will remember the tools that you equipped us with and how you helped us discover our passions. To administrators like Professor Sasaki, Dean McCrae, Chaplain Nelson, and Dean Amir, who took care of us with love, and even treated us like family. We are grateful. And finally, to all of our families and friends for your love and guidance throughout the years, we thank you. Specifically for my mama, wherever you are out there, you taught me what strength, vulnerability, resilience, hard work, humility, and forgiveness looks like. I stand here grounded in myself because of you. My degree may have my name on it, but I accept it on behalf of you. I hope I made you proud, Mama. I love you. We made it. I gotta get myself together. Okay. So I think the lyrics of the hip-hop artists Future and Drake, "What a Time to Be Alive," perfectly captures the last 4 years at Colby, and also including the moment that we are experiencing right now. We are finishing a chapter of our lives that taught us so much about ourselves and about others. We learned who we are not, how to persevere, how to ask for help, what we want, although some of us are still figuring that out, how to navigate difficult conversations, and how to let go, to name a few. College honestly brought us some of our brightest but darkest days, and we should be proud of successfully finishing this roller coaster-like journey. When I came to Colby 4 years ago, I had no idea what to expect. I left the comfort of my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri by myself to come 1,366 miles to Waterville, Maine in pursuit of a higher education. I cannot lie, these 4 years challenged me in so many ways. Being Black, low income, and first generation to college at an elite school ain't easy. However, I found a way to leave an impact on campus as a mentor, a friend, a budding academic, and a leader. If you think back, we honestly endured and survived a lot. All-nighters, especially if you like me. I mean, how else do you think I finished this speech? No, but I'm serious. I'm so serious. The brutal snowstorm of our freshman year that made administrators call a snow day for the first time in almost 17 years, that is the year that I learned that there's a difference between Missouri wind and Maine wind. Doghead, barely. And no, I never ever thought about swallowing a goldfish. Dana food, no shade to Sodexo or Bon Appetit, who we have now. But those Dana burgers, that's a whole nother story. And waking up on Sunday mornings only to find out that some drunk knucklehead smashed the vending machines. Dorm vandalism was and will never be cool. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Dorm vandalism was and will never be cool. Studying abroad, which I had an amazing time in Ghana and Uganda, apartment parties, transition in administration, faculty, staff, and even shortcomings of ourselves in the Colby community. So now we are here at Commencement, supposedly ready to commence or begin a new life chapter beyond college. The big question for many of us is what will come next. Some of us know exactly what our next steps are. Some of us are conflicted, and some of us have literally no idea. Regardless of where you are on that spectrum, I'm gonna tell you, it will be okay. My wish for each and every one of us is that we will practice what Barbara Love, a social justice education professor at the University of Massachusetts, calls a liberatory consciousness, not only in the next chapter of our lives, but for the rest of our lives. We live in a world where injustice is ubiquitous, and it is a liberatory consciousness that will give us the tools to navigate oppressive systems with awareness and intentionality, the tools to fight and to change systems that thrive on fabricating and targeting the other, the tools to imagine what liberation, equity, and justice looks like. Dr. Love outlines 4 components of a liberatory consciousness: awareness, analysis, action, and accountability/allyship. The first step, awareness, requires us to notice. We need to pay attention to what is going on around us. This requires us to ask ourselves, what power structures are at play in any given situation? For example, many of us are entering the workforce. If you hear or see a coworker being biased towards another coworker because of religion, sexuality, gender, race, ability, etc., you should take notice of this and not pretend like it didn't happen. The second step, analysis, asks us to think about what can be done in a situation. Sometimes we have more than enough time to think about possible actions and their outcomes, while other times we only have a few seconds. Regardless of the time frame, we need to think about and process what is happening around us to know whether or not to take action, to speak up, or to stand down. The third step, action, requires us to think about what action needs to be taken and to follow through with that action. Then seeing that we take that action. Sometimes we need to take initiative. Sometimes we need to encourage others to take initiative. And other times we will support others by helping them feel empowered and directing them to resources that will aid and support them. The final step, accountability and allyship, means not only that we learn how internalized racism, sexism, classism, you can name them, subconsciously and consciously affect our lives, but also, most importantly, that we agree to actively interrupt and do away with these systems of power. It means accepting accountability to self and communities from local to global levels for both our actions and inactions, because sometimes our action or inaction can determine life or death. I challenge all of you to join me in committing to practicing a liberatory consciousness. It is not a noun, but rather a verb. When I call on you to practice a liberatory consciousness, I do it with a sense of urgency because from my perspective, taking action for the greater good of people is less a choice than it is an ethical and moral imperative. Racism, sexism, classism, and transphobia, to name a few, did not create themselves. People did. Only if we commit to fighting against these structures will we be able to potentially say that one day we live in a just society. Sometimes we may fall short in our practice, but I hope that the possibility of liberation and justice for our communities and for our world will make us get back up and keep fighting. I will leave y'all with some words of wisdom from Cornel West, who I had the pleasure of meeting when he came to campus almost 2 months ago. It takes courage to interrogate yourself. It takes courage to look in the mirror and see past your reflection to who you really are when you take off the mask, when you're not performing the same routines and social roles. It takes courage to ask, how did I become well adjusted to injustice? I hope that wherever life takes each of us, whether that be on Capitol Hill, Wall Street, a classroom, a nonprofit, or a research lab, that we will all dig deep inside ourselves to find that courage. The courage to have a liberatory consciousness in a world that encourages bliss wrapped in racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, classism, ableism, xenophobia, and materialism. The courage to acknowledge and accept responsibility when we fall short to challenging these systems. The courage to develop a radical imagination that allows us to envision what a just society looks like. The courage to feel like we, as individuals, but also as local and global communities, have the power and agency to create and sustain change for a world liberated from oppression and hate, where all people live with dignity, freedom, and justice. So I thank you, class of 2018, from the bottom of my heart, for choosing me as our class speaker. I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you, and I wish you all the best. Please dedicate your lives to practicing a liberatory consciousness. And if you didn't know already, Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
Wow. The ones, just have to pause for a minute after that, Marnie. The one student medal that's awarded at commencement is the Condon Metal. The Condon Metal was established in 1920 through a bequest from Randall J. Condon, a graduate of the class of 1886 and a distinguished educator who was for many years superintendent of schools in Cincinnati, Ohio. With the exception of the World War II years, the medal has been presented annually by vote of the graduating class and the faculty to the senior or seniors who have exhibited during their college course the finest qualities of constructive citizenship. This year's winner for the class of 2018 is Adrian Carmack. It's my good fortune now to introduce our speaker for Colby's 197th commencement, the Honorable Susan Collins, United States Senator from Maine. Senator Collins has earned a national reputation as an effective legislator who works across party lines to reach solutions on our nation's most important issues. She is 14th in Senate seniority, is the most senior Republican woman, and is widely considered one of the most powerful members of the Senate. She is known for being a tireless advocate for bipartisan compromise, something that we don't see enough of. She stands for how politics and governance should work in a civil society committed to democratic ideals. She follows and extends a proud tradition of Maine senators who have played a prominent role on the national stage because of their smart, sensible approach to governing. Think of Margaret Chase Smith, Ed Muskie, George Mitchell, Bill Cohen, and Olympia Snow, senators who put their country before party and were guided by principles before politics. One of 6 children, Senator Collins grew up in Aroostook County, Maine, where she learned what it is to live a life deeply rooted in public service. Both her parents served as mayor of Caribou, Maine. And her father, a decorated World War II veteran, also served in both houses of the Maine legislature. Senator Collins embodies some of Maine's most defining traditions: an unrelenting commitment to community, a deep belief in personal liberty, and an unwavering dedication to hard work and the results it fosters. While Senator Collins has long been a good friend to us at Colby, her connection to the college precedes her. Her beloved great-aunt, Clara Collins Piper, worked her way through Colby more than a century ago when few colleges admitted women. Miss Piper's is a story of persistence and commitment, and we are fortunate to hear today from a leader who carries those qualities to our nation's capital to work on behalf of the people of Maine. I'm delighted to welcome to the lectern Senator Susan Collins.
Thank you very much, President Green. Trustees, faculty and staff, alumni, families and friends, and most of all, graduates, what an honor it is to be with you today. Now, I will tell you that I approach the task ahead of me with a great deal of humility. You see, I do not remember a single word spoken by the commencement speaker at my own graduation. In fact, I don't even remember who it was. I can only hope that you're not sitting out there somewhere. The journey from Capitol Hill to Mayflower Hill is one that I always enjoy. As President Green has indicated, today's celebration occurs 104 years after my great aunt, Clara Collins Piper, received her Colby degree. Her journey from Caribou, Maine to Waterville is truly inspiring. She first attended Colby as a 17-year-old in 1909, but then she ran out of money and had to leave in 1911 to teach school to earn enough to complete her degree. She graduated in 1914 near the top of her class, Phi Beta Kappa. How unusual that must have been in those days, particularly for a young woman to want an education that much. She was a remarkable woman whose memory lives on in the endowed professorship that bears her name and in the Piper House. I hope the story of my great-aunt's determination will inspire each of you to put your Colby education to work, to tackle tough problems, and to persist until you succeed. Since nobody ever told you that earning a degree from Colby would be easy, I'm asking you today to take on another significant challenge. We live in an era of ever-worsening divisiveness, a time when our sense of community, which has long characterized our country, is not just in danger of being lost, but far too often deliberately discarded. From the halls of government to social media, perhaps anti-social would be a better term, to the 24/7 news cycle, hyperpartisanship, insult, intolerance, and accusation are poisoning our discourse, turning us against one another, and preventing us from coming together to solve problems. This phenomenon is weakening our sense of community and undermining our willingness to listen to others, especially if they hold political views diametrically opposite of our own. Political partisanship in America has become what commentator David Brooks calls totalistic. Partisan identity, he writes, fills the void left when other attachments wither away: religious, ethnic, communal, familial. This modern day tribalism divides society into us versus them, as increasingly we isolate ourselves from others who aren't just like ourselves, wanting to talk only with those who mirror our political views and wanting to listen to the same media sources that reinforce what we already believe. It is deeply troubling that Oxford Dictionary's word of the year for 2016 was post-truth. This is the condition where emotion driven by partisan identity supersedes facts and understanding. Post-truth thinking, as Michael Hayden, the former director of 2 intelligence agencies, has pointed out, is contrary to the Enlightenment ideas prominent in the West since the 17th century. Those principles value experience and expertise, the centrality of fact, humility in the face of complexity, the need for study, and a respect for ideas. Your Colby education fortunately strengthens those values. You have surrounded yourselves, as Colby grad and historian Doris Kearns Goodwin put it, with people of diverse perspectives who can disagree with you without fear of retaliation. That sense of community, a shared respect for knowledge, experience, and diverse viewpoints, is the first line of defense against post-truth tribalism. Just as important, you've witnessed a real-world effort to rebuild a sense of community. The partnership between Colby College and the city of Waterville is truly remarkable. The generous support for this revitalization by the Avon Foundation is but the latest demonstration of the love that this family has for this community. This partnership is not only transforming downtown Waterville, but also bringing together people from all walks of life. Colby's investments in Waterville prove the old adage that one turn deserves another. In 1930, this college was struggling financially, and the old downtown campus was in disrepair. A relocation to Augusta was imminent. Then more than 600 citizens of Waterville, ordinary people with bills to pay and families to feed, joined together and raised more than $100,000, an enormous sum during the Great Depression, to buy Mayflower Hill as a new home for the beautiful campus we enjoy today. What a wonderful example of the power of community. Bringing people together is crucial, but it's not easy. The forces of polarization are strong and entrenched. Organizations on the far left and the far right demand 100% compliance with 100% of their views 100% of the time. Those in public office who seek compromise are vilified and threatened with primary challenges. And thus we see in the United States Senate a shrinking center where moderates were once the predominant force. It is particularly alarming that a Pew study found that a growing number of Republicans and Democrats view each other not just as the opposition party, but actually as the enemy and as a threat to our nation's well-being. The more politically engaged a person is, the more likely it is that he or she has adopted this apocalyptic view of people who could be their neighbors, soccer coaches, friends, school board members. This atmosphere of suspicion isn't just corrosive to our sense of community. It leaves us vulnerable. I believe that Russia's chief aim in meddling in the elections of Western democracies like ours, Germany, England, and France, was to sow discord and undermine confidence in our democratic institutions. Russia drove a wedge between the American people, but we created the crack that they exploited. It doesn't have to be this way. More than a century ago, the famed British jurist Lord Moulton gave a speech titled Law and Manners. In it, he described what he called the three great domains of human action. The first is the domain of positive law, in which our actions are rightly governed by binding law. The prohibitions against murder and theft are obvious examples. At the other end of the spectrum is the domain of free choice, where our actions affect no one else and are above criticism or constraint. Your favorite color or your favorite band is nobody's business but your own. In between lies the land of manners. It is here that we are free to do as we please legally, but we are constrained not by others, but by our own sense of duty, consideration, and respect. In Lord Moulton's view, the first domain of positive law is essential to protect the vulnerable. The third domain of free choice is where creativity and energy give birth to new movements, advances, and inventions. But it is in that middle domain, the width and breadth of the land of manners, that the true greatness of a civilization is measured. It is a measure of how much a nation trusts its people and how much people trust each other and themselves. It is there that communities are built. Colby College and the city, the community of Waterville, prove that it is still within our power to rekindle a spirit of community. Your education and partnership that you have helped to forge demonstrate that among people of goodwill, our strength is the sum of our differences as well as our similarities. So my challenge to you graduates is to spread that message wherever the future takes you. Whether the next phase of your life keeps you in Maine, a choice I heartily endorse, or to another state or country, you can help to restore the sense of community that makes life enriching and ennobling for all of us. Congratulations, class of 2018. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to present to you the candidates for honorary degree. President Green, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, Rebecca Corbett.
Rebecca Corbett, working diligently behind the scenes and holding yourself and others to exacting standards, you are a force for a more transparent, just society. You have shown us how journalism, at its very best, can awaken our culture to gross inequities, to abuse of power, and to establish norms and systems that suppress the truth, protect the privileged, and erode our common bonds. You have called yourself a perpetual liberal arts student, and the world has benefited from your intelligent and relentless pursuit of answers to essential questions of our time. By the authority of the Board of Trustees of Colby College, I confer upon you, Rebecca Corbett, the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. The hood with which you have been invested in this diploma are the visible symbols of your membership in this society of scholars.
President Green, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa, Theaster Gates.
Theaster Gates, potter, sculptor, performance artist, urban developer, and activist, you are known throughout the world for transcending boundaries among disciplines and asking the most important and unexpected questions. You create art, meaning, and space from discarded materials, and you illuminate the value of permanence in a transient and throwaway society. Your magnetism creates community, developing ideas, connections, and artistic works that deepen our understanding of the human condition and change the landscape of American culture. You are an artist in the truest sense, living your life centered around the power of possibility. By the authority of the Board of Trustees of Colby College, I confer upon you, Theaster Gates, the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts honoris causa. The hood with which you have been invested in this diploma are the visible symbols of your membership in this Society of Scholars.
President Green, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, Gregory W. Powell.
Gregory W. Powell, a loyal champion for the people of Maine, you have stewarded Harold Alphon's vision through one transformative initiative after another, ensuring that opportunity is not a privilege for the few, but a right for all. Your unique combination of intellectual curiosity, insightful discernment, and support for teamwork has brought life countless new projects, the results of which will be felt for generations. A proud son of Waterville, you have remained true to your home, inspiring others to see the possibility you know exists in maintaining a steadfast commitment to the common good. By the authority of the Board of Trustees of Colby College, I confer upon you, Gregory W. Powell, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. The hood with which you have been invested in this diploma are the visible symbols of your membership in this Society of Scholars. I'm now going to ask for the trustees' approval for granting degrees to the class of 2018, and of course I will do that in Latin. Hosca juvenes, veri clarissimi, hoiesco collegii curatoris, iam ordine historiorum designado functos, non tanquam literarum expertos, atque pectoro recto culto robusto garentes, actori mihi commissa, et vobis cosetianibus ad gradum baccalaureum admitto. It's actually how we hold all our meetings. And now to the candidates for bachelor's degrees, Arceptori and Audibus Gradum Candidate Accedent.
President Green, I am honored to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. All right, here we go. Are we ready? Yes? All right. By tradition, the highest ranking member and class marshal of the senior class receives the first diploma. This year, the highest ranking member and class marshal is the son of Miss McDonald of Belmont, Massachusetts. That would be Kyle McDonald. Please come for your first diploma. Elizabeth Hollander Adams. Jacob Victor Cecil Adner. Omalara Aderonke Akimba. Dalia Al-Shaksher. John Ridgway Alden, Grant Everett Allenson, Harrison Lockwood Alpa, Haley Laura Adania, Alexis Dre Antonino, Taya Claire Applin, Laura Eileen Arnold, Samantha Jean Attar, Jamie Hugh Yi Au, Marnay Chantel Avon, Sarah Winona Ellis Backstrand, Sergio Armando Baez Madrigal, Mariama Sadi Ba, Ava Camille Baker, Adam Jason Balaban, Corin Seju Balin, Callan Kenneth Barber, Peter David Barkey Barkin, Keith Barnachet, John Matthew Barron, Alexander Ishvan Beach, Charles J. Beckman, Carrie Elizabeth Selden Beeler, Kevin Arthur Beal, Jason Thomas Beeland, Mariamo Beniski, Connor James Benjamin, Elizabeth Eustace Bernard, Rachel Rushgold Bird, Aiden Samuel Black, Damian Blyberg Faust, Julian Chauncey Bode, Chloe L. Bean, Jobel Pastores Bonete, Kelsey Rose Book, Julia Borges, Brittany Teresa Bossi, Hannah Jean Bossi, Danielle Boudreau, Camrese B. Bounds, Kelsey Quinn Bowen, Emily Overseth Bozian, Martha Ellen Brainerd, Tassin Braverman, Courtney Hart Brenner, Matthew Ryan Bridges, Jacqueline Chase Brokaw, Joshua William Brown, Kara Elise Brown, Adelaide Coleman Bullock, Samantha Ray Birch, Margaret Sochil Borges, James Akira Burledge, in absentia, Owen Robert James Burry, Liam Christopher Butchhart, Catherine Eileen Cabrera Hunt, Nicholas Scott Cameron, Robert William Campbell, Adam Lawrence Carlson, Eric Ward Carlson, Adrian Rose Carmack, Reed Joseph Carpenter, Jonah Carter, Samantha Monique Carter, Anna Marie Corin, in absentia, Eugene Cha, in absentia, Malcolm Green Chase Jr., Stephen Sechrist Tchaikovsky. Graham Ty Chance. Thomas Henry Chandler. Victoria Ann Chef. Tianzin Chen. Zealand Shen. Victoria Allison Cestolini. Tomotaka Cho. Tenzin Chinden Chofel. Alexander Winston Lambert Churchill. Catherine Conlon Simony. Griffin James Clark. Jillian Nicole Clinton. Signe Catherine Coakley. Ariana Catherine Cohen. Benjamin Dawson Coleman. Matthew James Connolly. Killian Coran Connor. Tonayo Ann Crow. Adelaine Dolan Curtis. Sophie Lee Syker. Ryan Young Daly. Denisha K. Daniels. Andrew Thompson Denary. Annabelle Webb Darling. Gayatri Das Gupta. Corbin Davis. Michael William Decker. Gabriella Marie DeConti. Ryan Mackenzie Desjardins. Stephanie Sarah DeRochers. John Seamus Cotton Devine. Jesse Bliss Dewey. Matthew Otis D'Angelo. Patrick John Savino Dickert. Ian Bowen Dickey. Lawrence Witherspoon Dickey. Michael Bruno DeCosmo. Tucker Garth Dietrich. Camilla Guernsey Degaloma. Mirko Dinelli. Ling Ding. Blair Danielle Dixon. Chien Do. Henry Adams Dodge. Catherine Ann Donchik. Jin Yang Dong. Juno Inju Dong. Greta Little Dorsey. Haley Teresa Driscoll. Danielle Purcell DuPont. Haley Rebecca Dutkin. Evan Robert Dwyer. Jessen Margaret Edlin. Blake Charles Egan. Andrew J. Egger. John Edward Egner. Celine L. Aboud. Julia Carolyn Scott Endicott. Molly O'Brien Entwistle. Matthew Joshua Epstein. William Niles Irwin. Griffin Davis Fadden. Caitlin Rose Brown Farrington. Juliet Elizabeth Fawnin. Noel Joseph Feeney. Michael Antonio Ferry. Colin Christopher Finn. Alicia Brooke Fisher. Kelly Ann Fitzpatrick. Robert A. Foris. Gabriel Thompson Forrest. Austin Edward Frederick. Matthias Francis Friselli. Isabel Patricia Friedman. Sasha Victoria Fritz. Sierra Catherine Fuller. Amy Kana Ferruccio. Matthew Mauricio Garcia. Brooke Kelsey Gary. Charles Frederick Gavin Jr. Brooke Kathleen Gentry. Alina Mary Gagan. Emily Joy Geske. Margaret Elizabeth Giles. Luke Glenn Farron. Charles William Golston. Olivia Grace Gomez. Sam Gomez. James Saunders Penn Gonzalez. Koji Gormizano. Danielle Lees Gould. Sophia Alexandra Gould. In absentia, Harry Nicholas Greenberg. Jessica Leah Greenwald. Thomas Charles McFadden Griffith. Julia Grace Grimmett. William Lawrence Gross. We're going to get there. Where am I? Elisa? All right. Elisa Guerra. Marlene Guerrero. Jiexing Gu. Christopher Hornbrook Hale. Eleanor Alpers Hansen. Ryan Scott Harrow. Timothy Mather Harris. Benjamin Michael Hartford. Eric James Hartman. Madeline Marie Hatch. Tessa Justine Hoptman. Catherine Emily Hout. Vivian Fairfax Hawkinson. Isaac Harris Heyman. Who. Roy Chow Hu. Avery Augustus Halsbron. Phoebe Lowen Heilner. Chrisman Donaldson Henderer. Daphne Maritza Hernandez. Nora Mary Hill. Michael Charles Hilton. Asami Harano. Sarah McDonald Hoffman. Scarlett Sage Hovensott. Julia Allegra Holzman. Jessica Susan Horick. Stacy Wenjin Howe. Marcus Anthony Houston. Emma Rose Howard. Freddie Yenqing Wu. Weiyan Huang. Matthew McVeigh Hughes. MD Wasif Akram Hussein. Jacob Orion Hyatt, Allison Lee Ingram, Jennifer Bradbury Isaacson, Hugh McGavin Jacobson, Samuel McLean Joquin, Abigail Catherine Johnson, Haley Michelle Jones, Marcus John Blake Jones, Natalie Killian Jones, Matthias Disregard Calick, Zoe Ellen Kaplan, Anthony Jonathan Karalikis, Meredith Foy Keenan, Ailey Cameron Clinton Kelso, Taylor Catherine Kennedy, Asan Rahman Khan, Bernard Kibet, Thomas James Kiffney, Philip E. Kim, Brian Sintek Kim, Makoto Kinoshita, Nash Toman Bayer Klinger, Philip Clitorinos, Stefan Ravi Kohli, Amy Christina Kopek, Miriam Emma Antonia Kopp, Louis Mackler Cram, Samuel Lawrence Krumholz, Alisa Teresa Kohlberg, Casey Bradbury Cuss, Skylar Ray Labby, Ryan Chi Lam, Lily Francis Lamar, in absentia Pathamaphome Lamone, Alisa Marie Lang, Zoe Claire LaRock, Nellie Scott Laval, Caitlin Alicia Lawler, Alicia Lee, Nathan Yue Lee, in absentia Sohee Lee, Monique Marie Legault, Ian Andrew Leach, Craig Lawrence Lenhart, Jake Whitney Lester, Brian Kyle Levinson, William Morin Levesque, Renata Quinn Levine, Joshua David Levinger, Andrew Edward Lee, Graham Sage Leon, Elizabeth Hobart Liebler, Elenia Lou Lin, Andy Lin, Vincent Lin, Ian Reed Liphart, Ipe Luia, Michael Andrew Logan, Ryan Leanne Lolar, Graciela Lopez, Amanda Jane Loya, George Phillips Lucy. Vianney Cristina Lugo Aracena. Madeline June Lupone. Joshua Chad Vittorio Lutien. Alexa Sylvia Lyons. Cameron Joseph McDonald. Danielle Scott McDonald. Tyler H. McDonald. Abigail Chuen Ling McLean. Carl Philip Mygard. Max Bowers Manos. Joseph Rocco Mariani III. Charlotte Ginger Murata. Emily Ming Lua Martin. Matthew John Martin. Kathleen Francis Mason. Umbasa Unati Mayakana. Brian Connors McAdams. William Littell McBrien. Bradley Lawrence McCarthy. Shauna Bell McCarthy. Nicholas Charles McElroy. Molly Elise McGavick. Megan Anna McKenna. Matthew Bedford McKinney. Hudson Liam McNamee. Caroline McKinley Mead. Riley Caroline Maydell. Robbie Melvin. Jeremy Ross Mendoza. Margot Roshi Miranda Katz. Douglas M. Moe. Yashaswi Mohanty. Zachary Ryer Mundashine. Caitlin Joan Monteleone. J. Alexander Moore. Rebecca Louise Moore. Arisha Alexandra Moreno Ruiz. Jillian Marie Morris. Kaya Adria Morissette. Emily Morgan Mosliner. Weston William Mensch. Devin N. Mullaney. Wallace Enid Moraka. Claire Fenton Murray. Chantal Emily Negley. Sarah Coke Neal. Hannah S. Newhall. Stephanie Yetfun Nee. Wing Tung Jocelyn Nee. Jinwei Nee. Catherine Isabella Nicolau. Sandra Umoniena Nari. Clara Ruth Knuckles. Natalie Renee Oakes. Elizabeth Rachel McGovern Oakley. Elise Warner O'Brien. Gretchen Brown O'Brien. Zachary Hugh O'Connor. James Francis O'Donnell. Nina Catherine Olenek. Danielle Claire Palmer. Christian Mullen Papadella. Isabella Paul Papapetros. John Daniel Pappas. Brandon Inho Park. Julia Menard Park. Jordan Marie Parker. Stephen Joseph Parrott. Roger Wolcott Parson. Madeline Erica Partridge. Amelia Agatha Pasilis Fox. Ian Samuel Patterson. Nicholas Morehouse Patterson. Andrew Pauker. Elizabeth Paulino. Anne Campbell Pease. Barlow Lewis Peel Jr. Angelina Jean Khadijah Peterson. Benjamin Alina Pepernose. Madeline Eve Plasick. Tucker Bradbury Plant. Molly Hannah Plunkett. Cameron Matthew Price. Boyoung Chu. Nicholas Christoph Ramirez. Adela Ramovich. Anna Lee Ramsey. Jeremy Patrick Ravenel. Bailey Elizabeth Ray Smith. Michaela Ann Riley. Andrew Joseph Reese. Julia Marie Rembetzi Brown. Catherine Price Restrepo. Nicholas Baker Rhodes. Maximilian Palmer Richard. Hunter Kellogg Reilly. Devon Andrew Riley. Stephanie Danielle Rivera. Danielle James Roach. Zena Valentina Robert. Samantha Fern Robertson. Samuel Nicholas Robles. Gabriel Mortimer Rosen. Jamie Ryan Ross. Clay Mitchell Rowland. In absentia, Darpan Roy Chowdhury. Michael Joseph Rudolph. Charles Alexander Rowe. Allison Davis Russell. Catherine Elizabeth Ryan. Amanda Sagasti. Sandra Sanchez Ramirez. Julia Marion Song. Christopher Kendall Scammell. Benjamin Robert Schiller. William Wallace Schmidt. Danielle James Schoenfeld. Margaret Catherine Schreiner. Jamie Elise Schwartz. Neil Kwasi Sefa. Ryan Miller Seller. Kristen Heath Sutley. Jacqueline Nicole Seymour. Tanjir Shahjahan. In absentia, Alok Loretta Shaughnessy. Abigail Shea. Sarah Abigail Shore. Liam Mackenzie Michael Symes. Makiba Simon. Kylie Ann Simpson. Haransh Singh. Samuel Clement Sinkler. Chandler Drew Smith. Danielle M. Smith. Erica Smith. Kendall N. Smith. Miles Campbell Smith. Abigail Lee Snyder. Mark William Snyder. Yuenhi Lee Sohn. Ana Sofia Solis Canales. In absentia, Hui Song. Lucy Elizabeth Suchek. Kenneth Alden Southworth. Joseph David Spagnolo. Christian Reed Sparacchio. Shaw Edward Spear. Daniel Jonathan Spellman. Christopher Mackenzie Wong Spencer. Nura Sewell. Gina Stanfill. Sarah Ashley Stymel. Olivia Rose Stein. Claire Alice Morris Stevens. Craig Strand. Slater Waldron Sullivan. Andrew Brent Swap. Jane Singleton Swart. Benton Gillespie Swift. Sarah Elise Taft. Chow Tong. Dakota John Thompson. Indiana Hope Thompson. Kiara Louisa Tice. Sydney Fryer Tiemann. Matthew James Trovoloni. Samantha Makana Turbeville. Grace Uase. Aesta Vaiket Vuchetu. Vaiket Vute. Jeremy Evan Dobra Vale. William Anthony Vinke. Theodore Nicholas Vulgaris. William Campbell Walkie. Kylie Rose Walters. Chin Young Wang. Shi-Ni Wang. Ben Ames Wardwell. Vanessa Claire Warshaw. Lydia Ann Wasmer. Yohei Watanabe. Andrew David Watson. Miranda Naomi Weber. Jillian Joshan Wei. Antea Skydell Weiss. Yuawei Wen. Nita Marie Whalen. Dawn Whitcraft. Sarah Emily Whitney. Kaya Luis Francia Williams. Caroline Marie Wilson. Catherine Eileen Winsick. Caroline Lawrence Winslow. William Samuel Hughes Weisner. Hermela Tekaling Waldahawariat. Kyle Harrison Wang. Catherine Conley Wren. Laura Elizabeth Wu. Molly Ann Wu. Callie Wen Shi. Erica Shuawei Shu. Jianing Yang. Minjing Yang. Jiayu Ye. Amanda Victoria Young. Joelle Elizabeth Young. Joshua Aaron Young. Yuju Chuen. Allison Pasaturo Zach. Marco Antonio Zamaron. Wesley Zabrowski. Jungmu Yuat. Juafan Zhang. Yanling Jia. Stephen Blake Zieselman. Natalie Baun Zolper. Alana Michaela Ziatitsky. President Green, this concludes the presentation of baccalaureate degrees, and it is now my pleasure to present to you the graduates of the Colby College class of 2018. Graduates, this is your first moment to celebrate.
Congratulations, class of 2018. I'm going to ask the senior members of Colby's many singing groups who will now lead us to the singing of the Alma Mater. And following the Alma Mater, please remain standing for the sending. So if the seniors would come forward, who are going to lead us in the Alma Mater.
Graduates, we surrounding you now, your parents and grandparents, siblings, roommates, and friends, both near and far, your faculty and staff, we have taught and supported, challenged and pushed and pulled you here to this moment, this threshold. But most of all, we have loved you here. And as Bishop Michael Curry reminded the world recently, there is power in love, is there not? And it has taken a lot of love to get you here, make no mistake. And now, we're going to kick you out. Out into a world in which beautiful and terrible things are happening, a world of dishes to wash and meals to cook, and rent to pay, and battles to fight for equity and truth and civility and liberation. It's time. Time to pass through this door to ventures unknown and journeys of which we cannot yet see the ending. But we send you equipped. First, with community. Not the bland sort, but the sort you know in your bones. You have people standing shoulder to shoulder with you, shoulders to cry on in the work together. Second, with clarity of thinking. You may not feel clarity this morning for any number of reasons, but you have brains and hands and capacity to share, and you are ready. But most importantly, this: you are somebody. Your grandparents' wildest dreams, your parents' cherished children, your friends' shoulders, Colby's pride. You, graduates, are loved. Go forth to love. You, graduates, are blessed with gifts of thought and community. Go forth to be a blessing. You, graduates, are somebody. Go forth. Be who you are. Amen. And one more time, congratulations to the class of 2012.